The top 10 common misconceptions. Number 10. Napoleon was unusually short. Much of the reason for the rumors that Napoleon was a short man, he comes from confusion between old French feet and imperial British feet. Measured shortly after his death in 1821, Napoleon was recorded at 5 feet 2 inches in French feet, which corresponds to 5 feet 6.5 inches in imperial feet. Number 9. Danish pastries come from Denmark. This is again one more misconception. Arguably the world's most misleadingly named food, Danish pastries actually originated in Austria and were inspired by Turkish baklava. Their name comes from Danish chef L.C. Clitting, who popularized them in Western Europe and the United States in the early 20th century. Number 8. Meteorites are hot when they hit Earth. We have all seen the cartoons where a meteor falls to Earth with a red hot tinge and smoke blowing off in it all directions. In truth, small meteorites are cold when they hit Earth. In fact, many are found with frost on them. Number 7. Water spins in different directions. Toilet water does not spin in a given direction due to being in a particular hemisphere of Earth. Number 6. Bats are blind. A common misconception perpetuated by its use in metaphors and similes. Bats actually have fairly normal eyesight, although they are very photosensitive and often dazzled by excessive light. Number 5. Chameleons change color to match their surroundings. They, this is one more misconception. An interesting and fun idea, sure, but simply not true. While chameleons can be perceived to change their color to match their background, a chameleon's color change is actually the expression of the physical and physiological condition of the lizard. Number 4. A duck's quack doesn't echo. Sounds ludicrous, right? Well, this rumor somehow worked up a cult following on the internet where people protested its factuality with an almost religious fervor. It got to the point that a respected scientist actually decided to take value time out of his day when he could be curing cancer or something else in unimportant to test this theory. Number 3. Hitler was an atheist. Christianity, a religion of peace and tolerance that preaches moral values and love for one's enemies. Well, clearly, from a historical perspective, this has certainly not always been the case, although it is not so much the religion's fault as the people who attempt to follow it. Number 2. Humans evolved from monkeys. This is another misconception. One of the most common misconceptions about Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection is that Darwin claimed we evolved from chimpanzees. Darwin never actually said this, nor will any respectable biologist. This myth was actually spread by religious zealots during the 19th century in order to try and discredit Darwin and promote anti evolutionism among the religious. Humans and chimpanzees are actually cousins. We share about 94% of the DNA with the chimpanzees, and both evolved from a common ancestor thought to be Sahelanthropus chadensis around 7 million years ago. Last number one is the North Pole is north and the South Pole is south. Actually, in terms of physics, the North Pole is actually in a south magnetic pole, and the South Pole geographically in south is a north magnetic pole. When your compass is pointing north, it is actually pointing to the south pole of Earth's magnetic field. About 780,000 years ago, this would not have been the case as the magnetic poles of the Earth were reversed. So, these are the top 10 common misconceptions.